That's most likely Pamela sending you the pictures.
Now it's working. What in the world is that going off?
That's your phone. That's most likely Pamela sending you the same pictures.
Lordy. What was it, about 20 of them?
There was a lot.
Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It may be more. I don't know. It don't make no difference. I love when she sends stuff, and she always sends the cutest things.
Yeah.
The young brother and sister in Nova Scotia disappeared.
Their rural home. 6-year-old Lilly and 4-year-old Jack Sullivan are thought to have wandered away while their parents were in bed. And since then, dozens of searchers and a team of police have been working the case. Brett Ruskin is in Lansdowne Station for us this morning. Brett, we haven't heard a lot about the search in recent days.
So the biggest clue in a missing child case wasn't hidden in the woods, but inside the family home. What if the people who should be united in grief are secretly blaming each other? You're about to hear what's happened in the last 72 hours of the Lilly and Jack Sullivan case, and why the latest twist has people asking, is this still just a search or something far more sinister? Welcome back. This case, 2 siblings vanishing without a trace, has shaken Nova Scotia, and now it's captured national headlines. But something changed over the weekend.
It has been a few days, but that has not dampened the hopes of the GSAR teams and the police who are here to try and get these kids home.
It's not something that happens very often. And you just hope and praying they find them as soon as they can.
The search zone is now being expanded. Up to 140 people at a time have been searching for the children with the help of police dogs and drones. CTV's Scott Hurst is joining us now with the latest on the search. What are you learning this morning, Scott?
Marcia, truly a heartbreaking situation in northern Nova Scotia as the search for these 2 young children continues. Now, the latest from RCMP in specific question to what is the exact latest on the ground we're hearing overnight. In addition to the continuous effort of ground teams, those 4 drones with infrared technology were deployed through the darkness. Now, right now, family members say
behind the scenes, a quiet war is unfolding between the children's stepfather and their mother. And we're now asking, could family tensions hold the answers? Let's dive into everything that's happened since May 30th. On Saturday, May 31st, search and rescue teams returned to Gairloch Road, the dense woodland area near the children's home. This time, their focus was sharp. A small boot print found earlier had reignited hope. Amy Hansen, the head of Colchester.
But that one of the boots of Lilly was found under her sofa in the living room. Everybody wants to keep talking about the footprint. Well, that won't work. Where was Jack's little footprint? Where was Daniel's footprint? When they come back to the house the second time and started from the house and going back out, is when they actually found the footprint. And then they also found some undies that had blood on them, a sock, and I don't know what else.
County's ground search unit confirmed they were zeroing in on this pipeline trail.
2 young children missing. It's hard on the entire community. I know the authorities are running a professional, thorough search, but this is weighing heavy on the minds of certainly people in Pictou County, but well beyond as well.
The scenario everyone's hoping for, we bring them home. That's the main objective. It's always been that from day one. It's something I have to live with until, the truth makes its way out, and the truth always makes.
That is something I'll have to live with until the truth comes out. To me, this sounds kind of like a confession. What do you think?
Mm-hmm.
If you was guilty of something,
Right.
if you was guilty of something, and I was snooping around, and you seen that I was getting close to the answer, and you told somebody, well, I'm having to live with this until he figures it out. Would that not make you look suspect?
Oh, yeah, without doubt.
I mean,
Its way out.
A rugged path swallowed by nature and scars left behind by 2022's post-tropical storm Fiona. 75 trained searchers, 3 drones, and sheer determination marked this renewed effort. Yet nature had other plans. Torrential rains on Saturday and powerful winds Sunday grounded drones and slowed searchers slogging through brutal brush and fallen trees. By Sunday afternoon, June 1st, and after 2 intense days,
I'm going to keep fighting for the rest of my life to find these kids. That's the only goal I have at this point. Every day when I wake up, it just feels like I'm reliving a nightmare of May 2nd. But the main feelings of sadness have just turned to anger because there's no evidence at all as of after 1 month. And we're using every resource they have, and that makes me hopeful. That's all we have at this point.
there was still nothing new. The frustration is palpable. Amy Hansen praised the grit.
when I look at Daniel, if they wouldn't so much that's just already happened, and with him not being able to match up timelines, which that screws up a case anyway, and makes you look bad. He claims that he took a lie detector test. There's no proof of that. It's not been put out to the public. He claimed that he walked them trails and this and that and other ahead of the searchers and helicopters and drones, but his footprints was nowhere around. Just only one single set of prints, and that was Lily's boot. And the other one was muddy under the living room sofa. If they wouldn't so much up against him, it's almost like, how to explain this? It's almost like in him himself. I believe, I know he knows what went on. He may have been part of it. But I believe that if something hadn't occurred at that very moment, I don't think he would have did that to these kids. Hey, Sabina. He's giving away too many bad vibes. There's too many red flags. And there's just no hope for Malaya. Well, when I watch him, he won't look at the camera. He won't stand still. Ain't got proof of the lie detector test, which that will not hold up in court no way. But I've racked my brain all I can rack it. Because it gave me a daddy-gum headache. I just don't believe if something hadn't happened at that very moment, he would have not done anything. I believe he was pushed to the limit. And I'm not getting him off the hook whatsoever. Because I've done heard both did it. He may have been controlling with a bad temper, especially with the kids, and flipped out at her, probably for the last time in her mind, thinking, he does it again, I'm out. May have, I don't know, may have. But if it wasn't for all that standing in the way, if he wouldn't have tried to jump out amongst everybody and say, he did this, he did that, and say things that can come back like it did and bite him in the butt and show that he's not telling the truth about it. I think he's scared and that he knows that all this is probably going to fall on him. And that's not right neither. Because she's just as guilty as he is, if not more. Something had to push both of them to the point. Because I honestly believe that he loves that baby. And I can't get past that. I have to tell it like I feel it. I believe he loves that baby for sure. Jack and Lilly, yeah, there was some feeling there. But I'm sure just not enough. I believe she will. I believe she'll tell it before he does. And it makes more sense if when a man loves a child, no matter what the situation is, you can tell that he loves that child. And she's taking it away. And of course he's pissed off. But if something hadn't happened that split second, none of this would have ever been done. Him and her have probably been at it for a good while now. And she probably said, something along the lines, if you do anything like this again, I'm out. Or he may have said that to her. You do anything like this again, hey, you're out of here. When I play over and over in my mind when she says, me and my partner was in bed, she said, me and Daniel. She wasn't even going to mention Daniel. You got somebody that's cheating on you, and you give them a chance, say, look, you do that again, and that's it. She probably was afraid for her life. But the anger is what's caused all this mess. Now, who knows? Who knows? Maybe she flipped out. And I seen this the other day. I spoke about it about a week or so ago. There was a woman let her best friend tend to her 2-year-old baby. And she had babysitted for before. Well, they ended up calling the mom to come to the hospital. What the woman didn't realize is her husband had the cameras on in the house. And she was picking up that baby and just dropping it. Pick it up and just drop it 5 times. And then when she picked it up the second time, she picked it up by the leg and slapped it across the face, threw it on the chair. There's people out there that do these crap things. Now, who's to say? I don't know. I wasn't there. Who's to say she didn't hit one or he hit one and it was just too hard of a hit? Yes, she did. She lost it. And it was her best friend. So the ones that you think won't, will. Who knows? Maybe them had some issues amongst each other and maybe hit one of them a little too hard or something, or maybe picked it up and threw it out of the way or anything. And then everything went south from there. She wanted to get out and didn't want to see or hear anything. They plainly said she didn't even want to hear us or see us anymore. So no, all the blame can't be put on him. And did he love that baby? Yes, he did. Still does. And always will. But this ain't no one-sided job, period. I believe Malaya is just cold-hearted. She cries crocodile tears. She didn't want to be there to help search because she knew that there wasn't nothing to search for in them directions. She knows round about where they are. He knows for definite where they're at. Bad ways, yeah. But I wished this time that there would be something come up that would have some facts to it, that finally at one point in time in life that the stepfather didn't do something. Because you look at the ratings, it's 92% stepfather, stepmother that commits the acts. But he's told so many lies. It's just not working out in his favor. Now, if he can somehow or another coach her out of there and actually come and speak, but even if she did that, she's already watching what he's saying on camera. What he would need to do is stay away from the media for a good week or two. And then let her come in and do an interview. And that way she wouldn't know what else has been said. Because she's going to go off of what he's saying. And they're going to know that they're in cahoots with this deal. That's the only way to catch them in a lie. Is let them put their own rope around their own neck. And that'd be the way to do it. Just play both of them like a fiddle. Yeah, yeah, I heard this one here was breaking the search for Jack and Lily, and then there's another one for Flip. I forget now. It's like a 6-minute one. I don't know what it's called. I'll play. I'll play it again here in a little bit. I made a video earlier. I made a hamburger and shrimp casserole.
Speaking of,
if you guys did not watch that, go watch it. It turned out the best.
Speaking of that, I'm about to go get some actually.
Go ahead and leave it out. Just put some paper towels or something over it. So I'll probably get something to get done.
Of her volunteers, many of whom have jobs, families, and still show up to comb mile after mile of punishing terrain. This is personal. But while searchers battle nature, another storm is brewing, and it's within the Sullivan household. Stepfather Daniel Martell has broken his silence, and his claims are explosive.
A ground search is set to resume in just hours for 6-year-old Lily, 4-year-old Jack Sullivan. The parent went missing without a trace from their rural Pictou County home in May, as well as the Civil Air Search and Rescue Association are all going to be on the ground there, scouring for any sign of these two children that have been gone for 2 weeks now to the day. This is, the 2-week mark that we're hitting today. Search and Rescue told CBC News that it was RCMP that requested them to resume their search, but we don't exactly know.
He says the children's mother, Malahia Brooks Murray, left Lansdowne Station just days after the kids disappeared. Not only that, she allegedly blocked him on social media and has gone silent. Martell insists he's the one keeping public attention on the case, posting updates, organizing efforts. Meanwhile, Malahia remains quiet. This revelation has split public opinion. Some sympathize with a grieving stepfather doing everything he can. Others ask, why go public with blame? And unless you're hiding something. Now, to be clear, neither parent has been named a suspect. The RCMP continues to treat both as persons of interest.
Well, I haven't had a chance to talk to a lot of people because this news only came out late this afternoon. But anybody I've been talking to over the last week, the real search now is for answers. What happened to little Jack and little Lily? I think the whole community is still very upset and
which is standard in missing children cases. But the cracks in their relationship are now wide open. And here's where it gets even more unsettling. The RCMP confirmed their major crimes unit has been working this case since May 3rd. That's just one day after the kids were reported missing. Over 180 tips, dozens of interviews, and still no sign of Lily or Jack.
So she left the day after. He's been doing all the interviews. If he could just, like I said, coax her out just long enough to do an interview, to catch her in a lie. But he's going to have to stay out in front of that camera for a while because she's going to play off what he's saying. The guy that spoke last night said they got enough, that they got enough right now to get them for neglect of children. So I figure if they don't find them pretty soon here, they're going to go ahead and collect them up and put them in a jailhouse and see if they'll sing and use neglect for it. He wants the attention. See, with her leaving, that messed it all up. And if he hadn't have told so many lies, this would have been a good one if there was a way that for one time in human history that it wasn't the stepfather that did something. Like I said, I don't have no doubt that he loved that baby. And she left to hurt him because she knows he loved that baby, that little one. That's his, supposedly. But if all this hadn't happened, the night or the morning that this took place, they had to collide heads. She wouldn't have left for no reason and take that baby. They wouldn't have nothing happened to Jack and Lilly if them two wasn't feuding about something. They would have had to have some hot tempers going on, and then everything went south from there. And them children took the wrath of it. So we can't blame Daniel for everything. We can't blame Malaya for everything. It's both. I mean, any way you look at it. And what gets me is what the children said. She didn't even want to look at us or hear us anymore. Well, she did that very thing to prove it. She left. So she didn't have to hear anything about it, see anything. They done told it. Them children already told everything about the mom.
There's more drones going on. Come in, Fred. I urge the public to come out if you have anything, come out as fast as possible and get it to any detachment or any police service that you have available to get to talk to. Still holding out hope. I don't know why they didn't find anything from Jack's pullet or to her backpack or any of her belongings at all. They just haven't found anything.
Now, the other day, he said her backpack would probably be brown by now. You see, he's wanting to be on camera, and that's cool and all. That's cool. But you don't tell lies every time. What he don't realize they're doing is analyzing every one of these interviews. And every time they can ask him the same question, there's a different answer every time. And then they'll build that up and get a conspiracy on this thing. He ain't told the truth from day one. But that's just because of the ignorance of the law. They don't pay no attention. They're just in the moment. But all that's adding up against him. It's not helping him. And he honestly, to God, believes it is helping. You know, most of the time, it is true. The stepfather or boyfriend is usually one that does something wrong to a child. But they are 87% of the female does it and accuses the male of doing it. They are saying only so much. Hey, Sheila. They're only saying so much.
Hey, Sheila.
They say that they're bickering back and forth right now, right? Okay. But, hey, Paula.
Polly wants a cracker.
They're feuding right now. Her and him. Not just families, but just her and him. But they're not saying what they're feuding about. They're just saying that right now they're feuding. They should have one of their cellular devices pinged where they can hear it. But that's the thing. They're still talking to one another, but arguing. But what are they arguing about? Is it only about that baby? Or is he trying to tell her what to say? Is he trying to coach her out and do an interview? I don't know, because apparently her mom is blocking all that. And she's getting pissed every time they speak. That's why the mom usually answers the phone. If that don't look suspect, what else does? I mean, hey, Daniel and Malaya feuding back and forth about these children. Or I guess it's about children, or just because she won't get out and tell nothing. Makes her look very bad. And they need to hurry up and solve this thing. It's going on a month now. But as bad as I want to, we can't put all the blame on him. Because I believe she's a snake in the grass. And I believe she got it honest. Because I believe her mama's the same way. If you want the truth about it. She won't let her answer her own phone. And when she does slip and talk to him, she hangs up the phone. Yeah, right. I mean, something had to happen, like I said, at that very moment. And the only way that she knows she could hurt him is by taking that baby away. But how could he hurt her? If she was going to take that baby from him, what's to say he wasn't going to take these two babies from her to hurt her? I mean, that's just something that can happen. She takes the baby away from him because that would just kill him. He loves that baby. All right, if she loved Lily and Jack, or he thought so, if something happened to them, it would hurt her. I believe it's jealousy. I believe there were probably drugs involved. Things got heated and everything went south. She knows everything and he knows everything. And he just got through saying, I'm speaking, she should speak. But what they need to do is make sure that he don't speak again for about a week or so. And pressure her into making a comment. And when it don't add up, lock her up for neglect of a child and him. That's when they'll start singing. Yeah. Oh, I got it. I got the whole kit and caboodle over here. I've got it from the beginning to the end. And I guarantee you it'll play out just like they said it would. I've got 4 pages here. 4 pages. No. I've had to make a new Facebook account and Messenger. It's still under John Holt, but it don't have the 700 or 800 friends on there.
There's like 100 and something friends and that's it.
Yeah, there's like 100 and something now, but it's got this logo that's on my channel right here, the grayish looking one, where the behind me says John Southern Vlogs. You can hit me up there and I'll accept your friend request. That's what everybody else been having to do.
The search for 2 missing children in Nova Scotia is now in its 3rd week.
Despite no new evidence this weekend, Hansen said they'll be discussing whether to launch a 3rd targeted search, but even she admits this terrain is unforgiving and time is running out. Back in Lansdowne Station, hope flickers. The community refuses to give up. People wear ribbons, post flyers, share stories.
13 on, 7 likes. Y'all hit that like button.
Stories of the children's laughter, their smiles. But questions now haunt every conversation.
When they made that call to downscale the search. At that point, they made statements that they didn't believe the children would still be alive, which was somewhat concerning because it hadn't been that long at that point, trying to protect the integrity of that investigation. But they seem to be focusing more on that than actually trying to recover the children, which of course I'm sure they still will, because regardless of whether they're alive or dead at this point, it's awful to even say that, they certainly do want to recover the remains of the kids.
Were these kids really lost in the woods?
No.
Or was something darker at play from the beginning?
Yeah.
Here's what we know for sure. The search zone was chosen because of a child's boot print. The mother has distanced herself from the stepfather and reportedly left town. The RCMP has escalated their involvement from the start. Volunteers continue to put their health and hearts on the line in brutal conditions.
One of them is to consult with thorough consultation and communication and engagement with all of our communities. I think for us to be in the communities and find out what exactly the priorities is for each community, I think in today's day and age, everyone knows that you can't police a mountain the exact same way that you would police a Campbellton, for example. So I think the more engaged we are, the more benefits we're going to see and efficiency we're going to see.
What happens next? That depends on whether the RCMP finds anything in their review of this weekend's drone footage, whether new tips surface, and whether the growing rift between the parents pushes new information into the light. This case has changed.
Calls for immediate action to have more water released from Lake Diefenbaker into the South Saskatchewan River are growing louder.
We're going to break this down. How'd they blew on that too? Hey, my new glasses, I'm probably been throw them in the trash.
Oh, yeah.
When I, pull them up or whatnot, they're leaving a blue streak right here.
Not
Ain't
only
got
that,
my
your
daggum
sides,
hair
too.
blue. Ain't that some junk?
No, there ain't.
They ain't okay. All right. Well, so what was said there was still kind of the same thing. He's putting everything over on her because she will not talk. They don't nobody believe that they wandered off in the woods. That dog won't hunt. They done ruled out any kidnapping. That wouldn't work neither. So there's some people trying to block the truth with some cameras. And instead of listening to other people's theories, I've listened only to Jack and Lilly Sullivan, and one female that has spoken on their behalf, and one male that has spoken on their behalf. And Sheila and some of you that have not been here on this and maybe just been listening in the back or just not here, I'm fixing to tell you how it is right off the top. And as I'm reading this, I'm not going to beat around no bush neither. It's going to be bold. It's going to be sickening. And viewer discretion is advised. Mama Leah Brooks, stepfather Daniel Martell from Nova Scotia, Lily 6, Jack 4. This is what come through the spirit box the first 2 days. Yes, lost color. Yep, the mom. Yeah, yes, they're blue. It's not. Yep, yeah. A remote area did it. Mile and a half in, woods, yellow. Some on Jack was yellow. Too much blood. From Rose, it has a smell here now. I seen a plane, talking about probably a helicopter. Yeah, little boy was funny. That was from the gentleman that spoke. They were in the back, probably talking about in the truck or back to the car or something like that. He was angry, smothered with pillow. It did. Yep, both. Murder. And that was the female speaking for them children. Yeah, mom's in. Yeah. He is one maniac. That's what that female said. Yeah, a lot of country. I think a party on Thursday. Come find out. Now, remind you not, we've done had this stuff. We didn't write this down afterwards. We got this before anything was ever said. Every bit of this. On Thursday. Yeah, dig them out. They won't see us anymore. Lily was injured a little. Pillow. Yep, like kind of like a crick. Yeah. Beat in a rural area. Hurt. They agreed on it. Seen in their bedroom on Friday. That was from that female that was speaking for them. They missed. I'm sure they're talking about school. Waited. I'm sure they didn't call it in, ASAP. I'm sure they've been missing a lot longer than they claim. And there's like a creek in it. They did it. Boyfriend. That was said from Lily. I know they're together at the house. That was the female that's been speaking for. I know they're together at the house. Hit in head. Yeah, it's true. Mom don't want to see us or hear it anymore. Hey, yeah, I did. Can't believe was done. We were done this way. And this to me, Mom was always away. He did, killed. Yep. Mom, Dad, home, in your room, in my room, Mom was bad to Jack. They both did it. Backyard with pillow. Yeah. Ken, he's down a little from Jack. I can. Was in the yard talking about backpack. Found some undies with some blood in it and, a sock and stuff. At Deep Point, Lily at Deep Point, because he was angry, beat. They will find us both. A felony for both, the female spoke. 1 to 2 feet in. We're in. Thank you. Hey, John. Find me. It's raining. Stop. Died. Yep. See, not safe at home. He was rough when he played with them. Your son, the sun is cold. They're in the woods alone. Poor little thing. That's where that guy stepped in and started speaking. They're alone. Poor little thing. Then died. Me dead. Just like that. They're kids from that gentleman. My daddy, yeah. Underground was the worst mom ever. And then they still love him after all this. Mom, I love you. Wrecked after. Hard to believe. Took teamwork. Me, he's just plain mean to kids. Not good, Jack. I heard them crying. It smells from Rose. I can, Lily. Yep, Jack. Mom, Lily. I knew he was going to do this to me. Lily. In the trees, Jack. It was both. Lily, you did good for Jack. I see mud, Rose. Mom and Lily. Yep, Lily. We, Lily. Okay, Jack. Dad would, something that I couldn't understand when he said, I just put, when he said Jack again, and then Jack. Then I asked some of the things that they like to do. And he said puzzles. He liked putting puzzles together. He came in my room. I don't like that. Lily don't like that. Jack, Mom. Nick, Lily. Good Jack. I need Mom. Yep, Jack. We're in the woods. Yep, Lily. Hey. Was naked, buried. It's cold. They nearly found us. Okay. I need Jack. I can't believe he did this. I do know there is no idea of. Yes, want my mama. And I asked about any roads around there. Yeah, my road. Yes. If that's not confessions from a child, I'll kiss a rhino's ass. Now, every bit of that we got before they even started this rigmarole. And then next thing you know, it started popping up here and yonder and all this stuff. But we got it right at the top, topped off, It's definitely not fair to the children. I believe their feuding is what probably caused them to be so angry toward the children. I think it got too rough, too hard, too quick. They panicked, and there you go. Very heartbreaking. If it don't break your heart, you ain't got a heart in your chest. They poor little babies. They deserve much better than this. And now they're perfect in every way. If she didn't think that he would take everything on him, on his shoulders, she would have never left. She would have just been pointing the finger. But she's not. Simply because he knows that she knows. And he's probably trying to coast her out to do an interview. But they're going to make a very, very bad mistake if they do that within just days of him talking in an interview. They need to leave him alone for a minute and not let her hear anything else being said about it. Then do it. Then do the interrogation or interview. And then when it don't add up to what he's saying, there you go, get him right there. For neglect, if nothing else. And then don't let them think that they can get out in 48 hours, because that's all they can hold them. Well, they'd have a pretty good sized bond, but I don't know if they can do that. He only works 1 day a week. Mm-hmm. So they would just need not tell them that they can be out in 48 hours. Then they could say, look, you're going to be here with us till y'all tell us something. We're going to find these kids. Or either y'all going to rot here in the jailhouse. One of them going to start singing like a bird. There's no way any human with a mind could tell me that what I just read is not perfect that fits them children. I've said many, many times, if people would just shut up and actually take the time to, whether they believe in spirituality or not, if they would just shut up and listen and hear these babies' pleads, they'll tell their own story. And for once, go off that. Then you can make a difference. Until authorities start finding children quick, or missing teens or whatever, if they don't start finding them quick, there's going to be so much more than what's going on now. If they find them quick, that's going to make people think, well, I won't be able to play off that stunt because they're now doing their jobs. But I believe that'll never happen. But that's what should happen. The other day, somebody asked me if there was any law that could be changed, what would it be? I said that the parent would be stuck in a jailhouse until the child was found, unless they had good references saying that, they really don't know, by camera footage or something like that, something for definite. I think that a lot of these children would turn up. I'm sure not all in good conditions, my drift, but they would be found in a decent amount of time. This here, well, how can you sleep at night? How can you eat? There got to be something wrong with you. And my true feelings, I hate to say it, but I'm going to. I believe Malaya is the type of person that would leave a note and end her own life. If they push her too much, I believe she could do that very thing. Because she knows there's no way out of this. He knows there's no way out of this, but I could never see him doing something to harm himself. But her, every time I look at her, I can see it all over her. She's ashamed. She's not desperate for her kids. She don't ask about her kids. She's never once looked for them. She's never called nobody but mommy to tell what's going on. Yeah, that's right. And they're doing that. They're doing that to lighten up the conflict, but still not letting him see the baby. It's like a ticking time bomb. He may go over there and Bible do something to every one of them just to get his baby back. But if he puts so much pressure on her, the public keeps putting so much pressure on her, I do believe she would leave a note, and that would be it. I would a lot rather see him go to prison than her try to take the coward's way out. But, what I just read a minute ago, that's everything that has come through that spirit box. And everything that they're saying, we've already got it. That's right. He's not allowed to see that baby. And it's his baby. But don't forget, too, now the key word, boyfriend. See, in the first going part of that, I didn't hear nothing about no boyfriend. But now that she said, that woman said boyfriend, when she said, well, we were asleep, me and my partner, Daniel, when she said it just like that, I'll let you know right there, he's a third party. But no, he won't see that, baby. And if he takes enough of it, he'll have to do something to that whole family just to get that baby back. I don't know of anything else we can really do except for listen to some updates and sit here and listen and talk about it, because they've said their piece. The female is only giving bits and pieces out. The male that's speaking for the children are only giving bits and pieces out. They're not far from home. A lot of cam footage that could have been from one of the neighbors just so happened for their cameras didn't have no chips in it. There's a lot of cover up here. And the one thing they did confirm was the party. But the kids told me that to start with before I ever heard anything about a party. When they said it, I said, did y'all have a party? No. Mom and dad. Just like that. And then come find out, yeah, it was true. On Friday, on Thursday night into Friday morning. And then Friday morning is when everything went south. Or late Thursday night. Yeah, if anybody knows anything, I don't care where you're at around the world. If you got an idea, something about it, call that number. Yeah, they did. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Sure did. But like I said, them few that was facing out toward the woods in the edge of the other side of the street going down, camp, the chips was in them. But not enough you could see to their side of people coming in, a bunch of cars and whatnot for the party, or even the front of the place. Ain't that just a coincidence that them four just didn't have chips in them? So yeah, they trying to help cover up a bunch of junk too. It ain't right. It ain't right by no means. They gonna have to really put on some pressure, but I'm afraid that the mom of Malaya is gonna keep yapping about it. Yapping. That's the whole reason why she left from Daniel, so she wouldn't have to see, hear, or know anything else. And her mom's probably like that right in her ear, and that's not helping things either. And I'm just telling you, she's the type of person that would just end it and leave a daggum sorry, pathetic note. Yeah. Bad as I hate to say this, but Daniel don't deserve that either. With them both being in on it, he deserves to be able to see her go down as well. To have the same sentences, not the coward's way out. It's terrible, guys. It's terrible. Everybody just keep these babies in your thoughts and prayers, and we'll keep looking at the updates. I'll see you sometime tomorrow. I love each and every one of you. If you didn't watch my video earlier, go look at it. Love y'all.